Sister Jannah and Sister Ahad, welcome to Vantage Point.
Thank you.
Sister Jannah, we'll start with you. Tell us a bit more about yourself.
My name is Jahad. I'm 11 years old. I live in Palestine in a village named Nabi Saleh, and I'm the smallest journalist in the world.
You're the youngest journalist in the world as an 11-year-old. Now, why journalism? What made you choose to become a journalist at such a young age?
Because when I was 7 years old, I saw that there's no enough journalists to cover the things that happened in Palestine. Like when my uncle Rushdie had been killed, when my friend Mustafa had been killed. So even when I was small, I wanted to become a journalist. So I said to myself, why to not be that journalist who cover that things and to be the voice of Palestinian children who suffers every day. And then I became a journalist, and I was 7 years old, so before 4 years ago.
Okay, moving on to you, Ahad. Tell me more about yourself. Where do you come from? What do you do?
أنا اسمي عهد التميمي من قرية النبي صالح عمري 16 سنة.
My name is Ahad Tamimi. I am 16 years old. I am from Nabi Saleh.
So you and Jannah know each other. You're from the same village. How did you get to meet each other?
لأنها بنت خالتي يعني فشي طبيعي أكون أعرفها.
She's my cousin. Like it's natural that I know her.
Okay, now tell us more about Shamsan.
شمسان هي عبارة عن إشي يعني مجموعة رسمات بتحكي عن يعني أطفال رسموها.
Shamsan is like a collection of stories and drawings that children had been drawing and tell us that stories.
سموها شمسان عشان أحمد دوابشة اللي حركوا بيته في دوما رسم في رسمته شمسين.
We named it Shamsan because Ahmad Dawabshe, the one that the Israeli settlers burned his house in Duma, drew a drawing that had two suns.
مع إنه كان يعني هو بالعادة ممنوع يتعرض للشمس لأنه الحروق اللي بجسمه كثير عالية.
One on the right and one on the left. But usually Ahmad Dawabshe is not supposed to go to the sun because of the burnings that came in his whole body.
مع هيك رسم الشمسين ورسم حاله تحتهم وهو لابس طاقية وشمسية.
Even of that, he drew those two suns, and he drew himself wearing a hat and umbrella to protect himself.
لأنه قرر التحدي.
Because he wanted to challenge.
لأنه صنع من الموت حياة.
Because he made out of death a life.
وشمسان هي عشان تبين للعالم إنه إحنا مش بس يعني مش هدفنا بس نضرب حجار يعني ننزل مواجهات، لا إحنا بنحاول نوصل رسالتنا بأكثر من طريقة ومنها
Shamsan is a thing that shows the whole world that we're not only for making demonstration, not only for throwing stones, not only for making reports and everything. There's another kind of like a challenge for those occupation.
منها إنه بنرسم شو بصير نحكي قصص.
One of them is to tell a lot of stories about our life and draw our life.
Okay, moving on to stories about your life. You are 11 years old. Do you feel that you've lost your childhood? That you're not a child because of the place you're growing up in, because of the conditions that you see every day? You're seeing people being killed, you're seeing people being chased out of their houses, you're seeing people being maimed, Israeli occupational forces attacking young children. Do you feel you've lost your childhood?
Of course, not only me, every Palestinian child. Lost our childhood because of that occupation, because in our demonstration we go because we're part of this situation, we're part of this issue that that so bad issue under occupation. We're seeing our friends getting killed like near our eyes, always afraid to lose somebody we love, always afraid to lose ourselves, when we're trying to live our childhood while playing. Israeli occupation soldiers come and start shooting live munitions, gas canister, a lot of kind of canisters and bullets on us, just to not live our childhood. They want to let us forget everything, forget to get the flag from the elders, the wise people, and they just want us to forget the issue, but we will never forget it. Because of that, we're not living our childhood just to make the next generation live their childhood, live the thing we didn't live, make the land of peace that never saw peace before, to let it see peace.
Do you think there will be peace in Palestine, Ahad?
طبعا رح يكون في سلام في فلسطين.
Of course there's gonna be peace in Palestine.
لأنه هي أرض السلام ومنبع السلام.
Because let's say she gave the birth of the peace, and she's the peace land.
لأنه الناس عندنا كلهم عندهم إنسانية إنه الفلسطينيين عندهم إنسانية عالية.
Because every Palestinian have a big humanity in his heart.
طبعا يعني إحنا كفلسطينية يعني بنقبل نعيش مع المستوطن، بس يزيل الفكر الصهيونية من عقله اللي هو بعملنا بعنصرية من خلاله.
Of course we can live with a settler, but if he just removed the Zionism and terrorists from his mind, because we just want to live in peace, that's enough.
لأنه إسرائيل دخلت يعني الأديان كحاجز بيننا وبينهم، بس لا، إحنا ديننا دين الإسلام دين تسامح مع كل الأديان الثانية، وكل الأديان بتحثها إنه نكون مع بعض.
Palestine is a whole land that have a lot of Christians, Jews, and Muslims, Palestinian. And we're Muslims, and our religion said that we have to be friends with the other religion. Even every religion said that. But Israeli Zionist terrorists occupation want to remove this idea and put on it that our problem is not with Zionism. They want to say that our problem is with religion, but we're not.
Are you afraid?
Me?
Yeah.
Of course I'm afraid. Of course I'm afraid to lose somebody that I love. Of course I'm afraid to lose myself. Of course I'm afraid to get injured, get killed, get arrested, because the situation is very bad in Palestine right now. Every day we hear that there's martyrs. Even my friend aged 13 and 14 years old got arrested in April 24. Yesterday, one of them that aged 13 years old got out of the jail, and so there's no safe right now in Palestine because of that occupation. So I'm always afraid, but we have to make we don't have to let the fear control us. We have to control the fear and believe. I have to believe that that my weapon is my camera that shows the whole world the truth, and the bullet that don't kill me. It gives me more power, it gives me more strongness. Because of that, I can live and I can control the fear.
And Ahad, how do you see your future as a young woman going forward? What do you see in your future?
أنا بتمنى إنه فلسطين تتحرر.
Of course, I wish that I'm not wishing. I say, of course, Palestine will be free.
إذا فلسطين ما كانتش متحررة راح أدرس قانون عشان أصير محامية.
If Palestine won't be free, I will study law to become a lawyer.
عشان أدافع عن حقوق الفلسطينية.
To defend شو يعني أدافع؟ to defend the human rights of Palestinian people.
We're going to take a short break now. I think these words that have been said to us by Jannah and Ahad have been so inspirational to all of us and to all our viewers out there, listening to two young women speaking. In fact, Jannah is an 11-year-old girl. I've got a 13-year-old daughter, and just thinking about having my children growing up in an environment like that really makes it come close, so close to home, knowing that these people have so much going for them. But they've got, because of the Israeli occupation, life has become so difficult for them. So we're going to take a short break and we're going to continue this conversation thereafter. Welcome back to Vantage Point. I'm still joined in studio by Jannah and Ahad, who before the break gave us really inspirational stories. Ladies, welcome back. Ahad, moving on to you once again. Tell us about the awards that you've received in the last few years regarding the work you've done, your defiance to the Israeli regime. And as a young girl, you received the award in 2012, which was 5. You were an 11-year-old girl, and you showed so much courage in the face of so much adversity. If you can tell us about that.
الجائزة هاي أخذتها في تركيا.
This award I took it in Turkey.
جائزة حنظل للشجاعة.
It's the Courage Handala Prize.
أعطوني إياها في بلدية بشكشهير.
They gave it to me in the بلدية بشكشهير. And it's like from the mayor of Başakşehir.
And why did they give you this award?
ليش؟
أعطوني إياها عشان أكثر من مرة يعني دفعت عن عيلتي وعن ناس في المواجهات.
They gave it to me because more than one time I tried to defend my family from the Israeli soldiers.
You were 11 years old and trying to defend your family, and now you're 16, so that's 5 years ago. So 11-year-old children are trying to defend their families from Israeli soldiers who are grown men and women. How do you feel about these grown men and women bullying young children?
أهلنا يعني أبدا يعني ما جبرناش إنه ننزل على المظاهرات.
Our family never pulled us to go to the demonstrations.
كانوا هم ينزلوا وإحنا نضل بالبيت.
They were going to the demonstration and tell us stay in the home.
بعديها يعني قررنا نكسر حاجز الخوف اللي عنا.
After that we wanted to break the point of fear in us.
لما الجيش كانوا يدخلوا عنا على البيوت.
When soldiers come and raid our houses.
كنا وقتها يعني كل التمرد اللي فينا يطلع.
That time all of our fear was like going out.
الغضب اللي جوانا صار يطلع مرة على مرة.
Our angriness started burning.
وأكثر من مرة اللي في البيوت تعرضوا يعني للعنف أكثر من اللي بالشارع. إنه لما ينكسر شباك الدار ويفوتوا قنبلة غاز وما تقدرش تطلع من الدار وسبب لك مشاكل.
Even the people who stays in the houses started being violent more than people in the street. When Israeli soldiers always tried to shoot direct to the windows. So when the gas canister break the windows, you cannot breathe. So but the people in the street sometimes, if the gas canister came here and the wind is in this way, you can go to another way.
Okay, Jannah, to you, you're the youngest journalist I know, as an 11-year-old, and you started when you were 7. Tell me some of the stories you've covered, and why did you cover those stories that you have covered?
One of those stories when I went to Jerusalem to go to the Masjid al-Aqsa and to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. So to see those history things. So when we went to Masjid al-Aqsa to pray, there was a checkpoint. So they didn't let anybody go inside the Masjid al-Aqsa from 9 o'clock until 15. So I started shouting at them, "It's not your land, we have to go pray, it's none of your business, you stole our land, and one day Palestine will be free." And then, like maybe for a lot of hours, I started screaming at them. Then
Weren't you afraid to scream at these heavily armed Israeli
when
guards?
they're in front of you, you're like, no fear, only braveness, only angriness, and like you forget everything. You just want to like take off everything that it's inside. Yeah, and we stayed screaming, and then the director of them said to me, "Shut up, where's your mother? I want to arrest your mother if you stay screaming." And then I was afraid, and then I went crying back to my grandma. And then after that, I document everything, and he was like shouting at me. When I tried to say something, he put the gun on me, and I was so afraid those times. And then when we go inside the Masjid al-Aqsa and the Dome of the Rock and everything, they stopped us. When we like here, soldiers make lines and protect settlers that came inside to plan how they're gonna demolish Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa and the Dome of the Rock, and to take all of this and make a church for the Jews. And I was like so angry, and I was like so afraid of that. And I documented everything, and that was like one of the most afraid times ever.
I think sometimes we forget I'm speaking to an 11-year-old and a 16-year-old, and I'm sitting here in awe of what these young kids are telling me. For a young girl to go and stand up to a barrel of a gun, and I think from a South African perspective, we can resonate with it to a slight degree during the days of apartheid, when you look at people like Hector Peterson and people like that and what they went through, Solomon Mashlangu, for example. But just listening to these young girls just makes you feel like how difficult life is for them. Ahad, if you can tell me, speaking off air, you mentioned that your parents have been arrested. How hard is it for you as a 16-year-old to look after the rest of your family, having your mother or your father being arrested illegally by the Israelis?
هالشي طبعا صعب.
This thing is so hard, of course.
إنه تكون لإخوتك الأم أو الأب.
To be the mother and father for your brothers.
إنه كيف يعني لازم أضل قوية وأتحمل كل شيء عشان إخوتي ما ينكسروش.
How I wanna, like, I have to stay strong and make myself happy to not broke my brothers.
كيف علامات تراجعوا بالمدرسة لما اعتقلوا أمي.
How my marks denied when I was in the school when they arrested my mom.
لأنه كنت أصحى الصبح عشان ألبس إخوتي وأصحيهم، وكنت طول الوقت أشتغل بالبيت عشان يعني أعمل لإخوتي أكل.
I was so small, and then I wake up in the morning, wake up my brothers, they're small, and I just let them wear their clothes, make the homework, get them some food, and make them some food. So that was very hard.
You people both have a huge social media following. How do you deal with the pressures for both of you as an 11-year-old and a 16-year-old dealing with the criticism that comes your way, with probably the hate mail, with the trolls? We do know the Zionists and the Israelis have a whole lot of trolls who troll people for the sake of it.
I have 250,000 followers on Facebook, so I have to try to reply all of their messages. So my mom's helped me with it, and also in the same time I have school. So I have to study and then go to my page, do everything, and I think that's exciting and funny because sometimes I'm so bored. So I have to do something. So that could be a nice clue. So yeah, but in the same time it's a little bit hard because there's like 1,000 people that message me in the same time, so I'm like trying to run from message to message. Even there's some message, like let's say 99% of the message are good. No, 99% and half. Half of the messages are bad, like always, like let's say Israeli people, that one of them that I remember that they says one day you're gonna get killed and Israel will be free, and a big bullet in the middle of your face will come, and we will take your blood and make a party.
So that's a message that probably an adult or troll sending to an 11-year-old. So that's what we're dealing with. Ahad, finally to you, how do you deal with the pressures of social media?
يعني بحاول كثير انه ارد على الناس اللي بعرفهم ايش انه يعني اللي بيسالوني عن فلسطين.
I always like try to run the messages.
لانه في كثير ناس فاهمين الموضوع غلط.
Because there's a lot of people that like understand the issue in a wrong way.
كثير مرات تعرضت للتهديد وعملوا وقتها صفحة باسمي، يعني سموها انه لازم نعتقل عهد التميمي.
Like I got a lot of bad messages that says to me that I'm gonna get killed or something like that. And once they made a page in my name that we have to arrest Ahad Tamimi.
وحطوا عنوان بيتي فيها والطريق اللي بمشيها للمدرسة وين بروح وين بطلع.
They put the details of my house and the way that I go to my school, everywhere that I go and everywhere that I come.
وكتبوا انه اي حدا بده يقتلها هي وعيلتها بقدر يروح هذا الشارع او على بيتها ويقتلها.
And they said anybody who want to kill her, here's the details and congratulations.
Shanna and Ahad, thank you so much for your time. I think really
Thank you very much.
it was a real pleasure having you in the studio.